guys, welcome back to my channel. Hi, I hope you all are doing well. Basically a couple weeks ago, I guess it was more than a month ago, I made a video about my new diet. I wanted to sort of do a follow-up 1 month later and kind of update you guys on how it's been going, and also like kind of give you more specifics on like what I actually eat with this particular diet, which is the SCD diet, or the Specific Carbohydrate diet. And I also want to preface this by saying that I'm not doing this diet for any vanity reasons. I'm not trying to lose weight or anything like that. I'm doing this diet simply because I have had a crap ton, no pun intended, well actually no pun intended, seriously, of digestive issues over the last, I don't know, maybe 5 years or so. This diet is not something that I was familiar with, but it's something that is fairly common when trying to heal what's called a leaky gut, which is essentially what I have. The way my nutritionist kind of described it to me is that my body is just unable to absorb the nutrients like a regular person eats, you know, brown rice, and instead of it just like going through them really quickly, their body takes time to take nutrients out of it and absorb those nutrients, and then you eliminate the food. Whereas for me, it was sort of just like a really fast moving process where I wasn't getting the nutrients from my food. I really want to also talk about being vegan and being on this diet is, I would say, near impossible. I've read a few articles on it and a lot of them really discourage it. My nutritionist really discouraged it to an extent. I mean, she's very respectful of my veganism, but she did say that I would probably see more results if I implemented some fish into my diet. That was really hard for me to kind of accept because I love my vegan diet, but I've sort of had to like compartmentalize, like, this is not the way I'm going to be eating for the rest of my life, the way I'm eating right now. So I have been eating some fish and taking fish oil supplements. It is kind of against my nature now to consume these products, and it's been really hard for me, and I've really debated whether or not to even talk about it on this channel because I loved being a full-fledged vegan, and now I can't really completely say that I am. Living on the Pacific Northwest, there's so much fresh seafood, and so one of the things that I've been really careful about is eating only fresh, not frozen, not farmed, so wild seafood that's locally caught, that is sustainably sourced. And it's sort of shifted my whole way of eating to just being less like focused on specifically animal products, where that's still something that I'm very passionate about, but also thinking more sustainably, because I've been thinking a lot about how veganism is not necessarily the most sustainable diet depending on like geographically where you live. Like I said, I don't know if the eating fish is going to be a forever thing for me. I probably won't. And even right now, like, I probably eat seafood, and I mean seafood, I mean the only seafood I've been consuming is salmon and halibut, which is what's very easy to get locally around here. I've only been eating that around once every 2 weeks, once every week or so. I'm eating pretty high fat and no carbs whatsoever. No, I shouldn't say that. No starches. So that's what the SCD diet is, and it's been really tough adjusting to not eating carbohydrates when I started my veganism, that was like the main source of nutrients I was getting is carbs. The first 2 weeks I was so sad all the time, like I felt really unhappy, and I realized like I was getting a lot of those like positive hormones, those good hormones, from eating carbohydrates, and my body had become kind of reliant on that with time. And now over a month has gone by and I'm just as happy as before. It's just kind of coming from a different place. I've also kind of struggled with like eating enough food and like getting enough sustenance, and that's always been an issue with me. Even while I was full on vegan and eating whatever I want, is I am a busy person. Sometimes I don't have time to eat, or sometimes I don't make time for myself to eat food, and that's a huge problem, a huge no-no, and definitely something I'm working on, to like always have snacks, always have, you know, something around that I could nibble on. The other thing I want to talk about is having candida. This is something that I also had, not so horribly, but something that was definitely present in my system, and basically it's just like a bad bacteria in your stomach that eats away at the good bacteria in your stomach. And candida diets are very different from the SCD diet, and when I first went to my nutritionist, she wanted me to sort of like compile those two together, And one of the things with candida is you're not supposed to eat a lot of fruit. So the first week and a half of my this new diet, I didn't eat fruit. And I think that it was sort of an unnecessary step. Like now I still am careful about how much fruit I eat. Like I know, okay, if I have like a smoothie bowl, that's not something I can eat every day. Surprisingly, or maybe not, I haven't lost any weight. I think my body is at its like, I don't think I would, if I gained any weight, I don't think I would be healthier, and if I lost any weight, I don't think I'd be healthier. So I guess I'm at like my optimal weight right now, and I don't weigh myself. I just tell by how my clothes fit. I don't own a scale. I don't want to own a scale. I have absolutely no interest in knowing how much I weigh. Whenever people ask me, I'm like, maybe like 115. Anywhere between like 115 and 121, I'd be totally happy with weighing. And again, this is where I sort of am an intuitive eater and an intuitive body person. I don't need to weigh myself. I don't need to count my calories because I am very aware of like what my body needs and what my body doesn't need. I'm very good at listening to my body. And obviously other people are different. Like some people have really bad impulse control and they can't stop eating once they start eating. I'm definitely not that type of person. I can stop myself quite easily, which is a good thing, I guess. So I haven't lost any weight. But as for like how it's been making me feel, this is a month in. So foods that make me feel really good, pretty much all vegetables I'm good with. I find that it's a little bit hard to get full off of eating like a salad, for instance. So that's where the fat comes in, and like having a lot of fat, having a lot of avocado, having, you know, some beans. One of the other things that I'm not allowed to eat is chickpeas because I tested really poorly for this. And with the STD diet, like I said, this isn't something that I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life. Hopefully. It's something that once I repair my gut, I can start implementing things back in my diet. This is like an ongoing, evolving, ever-changing kind of process. And so I'm sort of just sitting back and like letting it happen the way it happens. As for my sweets addiction, because we all have an addiction to sugar, it's just reality. As much as I would like to say it's completely gone, it's not. I've just found ways to deal with it that don't involve like refined sugars. So in that sense, like, okay, cool, like I'm doing a lot better, but I still crave sweets a lot, especially after a big savory meal. If you told me this a year ago that you'd be like, Emily, once you do this diet, you will not have cravings, I would have been like, no, you're lying, because I'm the type of person that has such strong cravings, like cravings to the point where it's like, I would probably like do anything to get the food that I'm craving. Like honestly, it's insane. So to be able to sit here and be like, yeah, I don't really have cravings anymore, that's crazy. Other than like my sweet craving that sometimes happens after a big meal, especially if I don't eat enough. The other thing that I was dealing with a lot of is nausea. I get nauseous really easily. I have a really bad gag reflex. Like someone else vomits, I will vomit on them. Like I literally have no control. With food, there was like this weird situation. Sometimes I'd be cooking and I'd get this sudden like bout of nausea that's so strong that it makes me want to like it makes me never want to eat again, essentially. And for the nausea, I've definitely had way less. I used to have it like at least once a week, but I still get turned off of food sometimes. I don't know why. It's really bizarre. The other thing that my diet is treating is my eczema. So for those of you who don't know, I have had eczema my whole life, and it's been something that recently has become quite a, I don't know, disruptive situation. And it kind of got to the point where I was becoming really insecure about it, and like it was making me really feel shitty, and I never had that experience where it like made me feel gross about myself. And that's kind of was sort of the turning point for me, where I was like, okay, like I can deal with this gut stuff, but like having eczema is really fucking up my life, honestly. And so I've had it on my hands, and maybe it doesn't look that good to you guys now, but actually no, you know what, this looks so good. My hands have almost, well, I don't want to say almost entirely healed, but compared to what they were before, it's like night and day. And I could get emotional about it because it has really messed me up this last year, having such bad eczema. It's embarrassing because I feel like people are wondering like what the fuck is wrong with that girl's hands or whatever, and I've never been a person that has a lot of like body insecurities, so having this insecurity and something that I really can't hide has been super exhausting and just emotionally draining for me. And I really didn't think that it would ever go away. I thought like, I didn't think it would ever get better, and it's not completely gone yet. Like I still deal with it. It's still itchy. Like today was a bad day. It was really itchy. But I know that yesterday I ate like a shit ton of fruit, so that was probably like part of why it gets worse. But compared to what it was, like guys, my hands were like covered to the point where like they would be cracking and bleeding. And I tried everything. So for me to like be sitting here and being like, yeah, my hands, like look at them. Like it's very emotional for me because I really doubted that this diet or anything would make a difference. These things can't be cured. And essentially with eczema and psoriasis, like people treat them in whatever way they can. But you'll never get rid of it. And if you kind of step outside of like your norm, or you eat something you know you shouldn't eat, it will flare up. And I know that a lot of you guys also deal with eczema or psoriasis, so I just want you to know that I feel you. It's so shitty. And when mine flared up so bad this past spring and summer, I felt really awful about myself, and I'm just really glad that it's getting better. And like I said, it's not healed 100%. It's not 100% gone by any means. It's still something I deal with. It's still something that's very much on my mind. I feel so happy, and I know it's this diet because I haven't changed anything else in my life. I'm still living in a kind of more high stress lifestyle. I still am super busy. I'm still, you know, using the same products on my skin. Yeah, let me know if you guys want me to do a whole video on my eczema, because I've pretty much tried every natural skincare product out there, and so I would love to like talk about some that have worked and certain things that I have tried that have actually helped me. So let me know if you guys want to hear about my eczema story kind of thing. I think maybe I did a video about it before, but it'd be a little bit different because now I'm on a kind of a different path with dealing with it. So yeah, that's sort of where I'm at. Almost a month and a half since I started this journey. I'm just hoping that, like, for anyone who's out there struggling with digestion issues or IBS or anything like that, like, it's not something that people love to talk about. It's not like a fun thing to talk about, but the reality is that it affects a lot of people, and you may not even know like what you're dealing with. You may not even know the severity of your issues until you go see someone. It's not worth it to sit around and just like try to figure it out yourself, which is what I did for so many years by eliminating things with some guidance of like naturopaths and stuff, but for the most part on my own, just sort of removing things. That's kind of everything I want to talk about in this video. It's sort of all over the place, but I really wanted to fill you in with what's going on with all the shit that's going on. It's just crazy to me that I'm eating this way because I love carbs, and I'm doing totally fine. Like I'm not even starving. Like I feel fine. If you guys want to see more videos on this topic, definitely let me know down below. If you have any questions about the SCD diet or candida or anything like that, I will do my best to answer them. I don't know everything about candida. I don't know everything about the SCD diet. I know that a lot of people have tried the SCD diet for like various ailments, not just like IBS sort of things. So definitely look into it. Leave any questions that you may have below. And yeah, thanks guys so much for watching, and I will see you all soon. Bye!